Hi, and happy Sunday to you all. Today, I want to chat with my fellow brothers and sisters in the diaspora with children. This video is actually as a result of something I saw and another YouTuber's video I saw. He's a Ghanaian YouTuber. The name is Trouble Carlos. I want to commend him for the wonderful work that he's doing. He's really been an advocate for women and children, and I like watching his channel a lot, especially when it has to do with issues of violence against women and children. He brings out like a lot of these cases, and I think he's established this relationship back in Ghana such that whenever something is going on, he has the contacts back there that reach out to him and give him the information. And I think we need more of those. Of course, I know one main male figure in Ghana who has been amazing and has been at the forefront, fighting for the rights of women and children for so many years. And he's doing an amazing job. And so Trouble Carlos, seeing what he's doing, I have to commend him. This particular story that I saw on his channel had to do with, I think, a teenager whose dad brought him from Germany to come and live with a grandmother in Ghana. I mean, you would think that this is a grandma. Most grandmas, like to spoil their grandchildren, love on them. I mean, hey, that's a child of your child. So, they just spoil their grandchildren. Not spoil them, quote unquote, as in not teaching them any values or anything, but they just love on them and be there for them, be their buddies and all that. But this particular grandmother was not like that. This woman has been abusing her own grandchild. Okay, I hear so much so that the boy got used to the abuse. So I mean physical abuse. So it got to a point that whenever the grandmother beats him up, it doesn't really do, because he knows, how when we were kids, we get beaten up so much so that when you do something, you're going to get beaten. You know how it's going to go. So some kids just get used to it. I've heard stories of some kids that growing up that immediately they know they fumbled, they just they just give their mom, they just go down, you're going to get a pill, and they'll cry for a few minutes and they're done. So I guess the boy got to that stage where the grandmother's beating really wasn't doing anything to him. So on this particular day, the story was that the boy went out to a funeral and came home late. So the grandmother started beating him. And I think the age was 14 or between 12 and 14, I believe. But the boy was not responding the way the grandmother expected. It's like the whooping was not really getting the boy enough. So the grandmother contracted a male in a community to come and help her beat up her grandchild. And I hear it was so bad. I mean, I saw a video of it. Wherever the incident was happening, there was a gate. I think it was the woman's store or house, and it was gated. But you can see through the gate. It's just a metal gate that you can see through. People were trying to go in and save this boy, but the grandmother actually blocked anybody from entering to go and save the boy. And the man was mercilessly beating her grandchild. She was just standing there, watching this man physically abuse her grandchild, and she was not allowing anybody to enter and save this kid. It took this woman to make a video and put it out there for whoever the father of this kid is to come and take their child back to Germany because of the way the grandmother was treating this boy. Okay, I know it's not easy raising a child in the diaspora. I know childcare is very expensive. I understand that. Sometimes you have to work if you're a single parent and your kids are young. You have to work late. Sometimes you have to work night. If you leave the kids based on their age and unattended, someone might call social services. You'll be in trouble. They can over here in the US, they can take your kids, from you and all that. So it's challenging. Okay, and this is not like back home that you have a neighbor sometimes that you can just say, oh, can you watch? Like, can I come and leave my child for you? Like, you really sometimes you don't get it like that. Maybe a few hours for a play date here, but staying overnight, sometimes you don't get it like that. And if you have to get a nanny, it's expensive. You could use your whole paycheck or more than half of your paycheck to pay for a nanny just for watching over your kids for 2 weeks or so. So I understand. And sometimes maybe the parent is going to school that they really need the time and the peace of mind, I would say, because if you have to take care of your husband and your child, and it's hard to study when you have the kids around. So what most parents do is send their kids back home so that they can just focus on their studies. And then after their studies, they bring the kids back. There are other times too that some of our kids who are born here, based on their behavior, the parents try maybe that not that good, or they're afraid that if they grow up here, they're going to find themselves in trouble. So they try to take their kids back home so that they will go to school over there, and in hopes that they will be calm by the time they come back, more matured and transformed, because back home is definitely not the same as like in the diaspora. I understand all that. But before you take such a step, may I plead with parents to consider who you're sending your child to. It can be a family member. It can be your mother. It can be your sister. It can be your cousin, whatever. But please know who you're sending your child to and be confident that this person will take good care of your child. Of course, they might not love your child the way you would. They might not treat your child the way you would. But just have that confidence, at least the slightest confidence, that they will take good care of your child. Because your child is not just living with them. You're sending them money for food. You're sending them money for shelter, sometimes for clothing. The child will get sick. And you're not just sending them money to take care of your child. By the mere virtue of them taking care of your child for you, definitely whatever you send in, you send a bit extra so that will also have something to run around. So you need to make sure that these people are taking good care of your child, because you don't want a situation where you send your child back home just so you would have time to work, to help take care of family back home, or to go to school to better yourself, to be able to get a better job so you can help take care of your folks back home. And then your child returns to you wounded. They will never forgive you. They will never forgive you. And sometimes you are lucky if they come and they are whole. I heard a story years back, a very sad story where this lady was going to school, nursing school, and she was a single mom, so she had to take her child back home to her mother to take care of this child for her while she goes to school, because it's challenging, like I mentioned before. She was like buying like food. She was sending money constantly. She called the mother one day, and the mother was like, "Oh, we're on our way to go bury your child." "What are you talking about? Like, what do you mean? Bury my child? Like, when? What happened?" The child had been sick, and the mom did not tell her daughter. Like, how? This child was born in the U.S., definitely a citizen of the U.S. So if the sickness is that bad, all the mom had to do was just call you, go to the U.S. embassy. The mom could find money to do everything for you to send this child to the hospital. Why didn't you make this woman know? It was terrible. She was going crazy. Kids have gone back home and they've come back, and their lives have been transformed in a negative way. So please, much as it may sound or it may seem to be convenient at the time you need it, if you can work, if you're married and you can work around your work schedules with your your spouse, to take turns to take care of your children. That sacrifice is worth making. If you can befriend a fellow African in your neighborhood, who also have kids, so that you guys will take turns taking care of each other's child while you are away at work or while you're in school, like something, that sacrifice is worth making. I know it can be challenging. We've had a case close to us where this lady had 3 kids, single mom, was working at night, didn't have anyone taking care of her kids, like don't know any neighbor who could. Childcare, 3 young kids, it's expensive. So she will leave. She was working at night. She will leave her kids at home and lock the door and hope she'll come back and meet them safe. And she'll go to work. Apparently, a neighbor was watching her. Or your neighbor was watching her. And unfortunately, I don't know what happened, but one time it became the police became aware that this was what this woman was doing. They took all 3 kids away from her. It's not like any of them got hurt or anything, just for the mere fact that she was leaving her kids, her underage kids at home and going to work. Anything could have happened to them, of course. Then that is where they are looking at. That's where social services will be looking at, like the angle that they'll be looking at this issue. But to the mom, I need to feed my children, because if I don't go to work to make money to pay my rent and to feed my kids, we might be homeless. And then what? They might end up taking your kids away from you somewhere, somehow. So she was trying to go to work to provide for her children, and it was not enough. I understand all these things. But if we can make those connections with people like close to us, Africans, make our church members, let us try to make this connection. Tell your story to other people. Let people know what you're going through. I'm sure there are people out there who would want to help. Because by sending your kid all the way to your mother and then hearing that your mother is treated, I wonder what the father will be going through seeing this video. And I saw the video and it was torture. I could not believe that a grandmother would stand there and watch another man physically abuse her grandchild. This guy was screaming and the grandmother was just standing there, not moved, not perturbed. That is your grandmother. So who else can you go leave your child with? If your own mother cannot take care of your child for you while you're making money to take care of her, who else can you trust? So please, if you want to go leave your child with your mother, I think one thing we need to look at, how was your mother? How did your mother raise you? How was she with you while you were growing up? Was she abusive to you? If she was abusive to you, the tendency of her being abusive to your child is high. And plus, the kids that are born here, they are different. They are assertive. Okay, they are not disrespectful, but they are assertive. So sometimes our parents from back home, they take the kids' assertiveness to be disrespect. And then the ill treatment will start. So we put a lot of things under consideration and find people find this connections with people around you that you guys can help each other out or work around your schedule, you and your husband's schedule. The sacrifice is worth taking. It pays off. I hope you guys will please consider that, because it is gut-wrenching to see what this kid was going through. And I know this is just the ones that we know or we came to know, okay? But I know there are lots of kids who are going through this that their parents are not even aware of. And if your child is back in Africa and you talk to them, they might not have a phone, but maybe if you call the person taking care of them and they give the phone to the child and the child is talking in a way you can sense that something is all right. You need to go further. Make sure that the child is doing all right. If the child has a phone and they text you or they call you and tell you that this is what the person is doing to me, please don't take it lightly. Don't brush it off. You need to pay attention to it and do something about it. At the end of the day, that's your child. This child will grow up to come take care of you. So please, let's make every sacrifice that we can to take care of our children. Thank you and have a happy weekend.